Okay. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Rise and Shine. My name is Coach Lacy. If you haven't already, be sure to hit the subscribe button, the follow button, wherever you may find me on the big wild web. It's Monday. Whew, and this last week was pretty heavy, wasn't it? Especially if you live in the Wenatchee Valley and you have been touched by the incident that happened here with the Decker girls. Again, I want to express my deepest condolences to Whitney and her family, um, and send my prayers and thoughts. If you're watching, Whitney, I would love to extend some health coaching free, of course, for you. And to anybody who is struggling, I would love to extend some free sessions to you. So please reach out. That being said, yeah, our valley and our world the nation is grieving, the world is grieving the loss of these girls. So heavy. Lives lost too soon. All of our mama hearts cracked wide open. And at the very same time that our mama hearts are cracking open with grief, they are cracking open with pride for the class of 2025. And I have a graduate this year, and it's bittersweet. It's bittersweet to usher in a new time of life, and the word bittersweet doesn't even begin to cover it. It feels like just yesterday I was 18 and I was off doing my thing, and my life looked very different than what my stepdaughter's does. And I was quite hell on wheels, but as quite the it was quite the shit show. So I'm thankful that my daughter is not, and I'm thankful that we have helped her through those storms in life. I'm sure all kids struggle, but we have really done well with that. And, you know, um, life's bittersweet and life can be tough, and, you know, joy and pain and happiness and sadness, celebration, sorrow. It's all just tangled up in one big mess. It's all just tangled up. And this weekend was a testament to the moms out there who are feeling that pain and feeling that joy all at the same time. You take one look at your children, and they're now adults, and you remember when they were young, like those three girls, and how time just rips on by, and then it's taken, from people so soon. And my poor brother, took his own life at the age of 18, and now my daughter she's graduated and is now surpassing what he would have where he ended his life. And whew, that feels like a weight that could swallow me whole, like I just feel like that's really heavy when I sit with that. And there's so many questions that come to my mind. And if any of you out there are survivors of those who have been taken too soon, I'm sure you have similar questions going through your mind when it comes to moving forward, and um how do you go on when trouble hits? What do we do when it feels like the weight of everything could just swallow you whole, and you could have your own momentary lapse of reason and taking your own destiny for a ride. And, you know, I want you to know that you're not crazy. There's nothing wrong with you. You're just human. And I hammer a lot on my phrase anchor in. That phrase, it's not mine, but the phrase anchor in. And that is the cornerstone of my coaching, whether it be life coaching, wellness coaching, or even business coaching. When chaos strikes and trouble starts, the only thing that we can do and the only thing that we can control is our controllables. And that's why it's so important to anchor in. Otherwise, we'll be lost to the gravity of the situation, like Sandra Bullock in that movie. her anchor broke, and so she was lost to gravity. And everything was, or excuse me, anti-gravity, the lack of gravity. She was lost to outer space and floating in the ether, not having anything to grab onto. So it's important that we tether into something solid when the storm comes. You know, that's the phrase anchor in or to anchor in has been getting thrown around a lot in the coaching world. Like it's cute and inspirational. But for me and my business around here, it is pivotal. It is survival. It is the thing that will get you through all the storms of life. You need to be able to tether in to something solid and strong and something foundational, something tangible, something that's you're able to actually control. And the only things that you can control are your controllables, things like your breath, what you nourish your body with, how you talk to yourself when no one else is looking, the things that you read, the things that you listen to, choosing to get up and make the damn bed, even though you feel like you're exhausted and you've been drop kicked by life. It's making those choices when you are out of control. It's making the choice to not react when someone is being a jerk to you. It's making the choice to rise above the situation when there's riots in the streets, right? You can't always change the situation, but you can choose how you show up and how you react. Those are the choices we have, and every choice that we makes creates a equal and opposite reaction. I used to think that life would just get easier if I just did the right things. Hustle hard, give all of myself, serve, 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 smile, 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 earn it. Earn it, girl. Let's fix it. What if I fix it? I can fix this. I can fix that. I can help. If I just do the right thing, if I just show up every day, and if I just stay consistent, and if I just pray and surrender and I tithe and I read my Bible and I do all the things, then life is going to be perfect. But you know what I learned? No. I learned life life is not easy. Life's not all about me and what I want in this world. Life doesn't hand out rewards based on effort. We're not rewarded for doing the basics. Let that sink in. Our challenges shape us into who we're supposed to become. If we don't lean into the challenge and accept the pain of growth, we will never change. We will always remain the same. And some might argue that remaining the same and consistent is is how we're supposed to be or is a good thing, but it's not. Sure, we want to keep parts of ourselves and the glimmers that are beautiful and contributive and the best parts of ourselves and accentuate those. We want those to stick and to grow as we grow. But those things that we could make better or make a change with, we need to shine the light on them and make an effort to make a change. We all have something that we can work on and strive to be better for, right? And sometimes life feels like, why am I going through all of these trials? Why is my business not fruitful? Why do I not have the friend group that I wish I could have? Why do I not get to travel as much as I wanted to travel? Why am I stuck in this place that I don't want to be? And I have learned that sometimes you don't get picked. Sometimes sometimes you don't get the job or the house or the baby. Sometimes those things don't show up. And sometimes you feel like you're the sometimes you're always the one that is giving of yourself and handing out water while other people are drinking it out there living their best life and couldn't give a shit less. It's easy to compare yourself to others. It's easy to look online and see, man, they've really got it going on. They're going all over the place. Their business is really popping. They just really seem to have it all going on, don't they? Or maybe it's a sibling or someone that you love that, maybe they have the house, the car, the kids, all the things that you wish you could have, and you wonder, why am I not being blessed? I can tell you from my personal experience, I've had those moments. I've had those moments. I've had them recently. I really struggle with not having my own biological child. I wonder every day why God has not chosen me. Why do I have to be in this barren? Well, why do I go through this pain, Lord? When I make such a wonderful mother. Yeah. That could make me bitter, and it has. And I've had to really work through that bitterness of why not me, Lord? I see people all the time who are terrible parents. I see people all the time who neglect their children, who mistreat their children, who abuse their children. And I wonder all the time, why not me, Lord? It's not my story yet. And maybe one day it will be. Maybe at the last minute, like the tortoise who finishes the race before the hare, maybe, and I'm holding hope for that. Just maybe, my dreams will one day be recognized. And then maybe they won't. And maybe there's a purpose for that too. But bitterness and being bitter about it will rot you from the inside. And comparison will always leave you feeling behind, even when you are right on time, even when you feel like the tortoise. You're not the author of your story, you are the storyteller. The story is unfolding as we go. So what is the lesson you can learn from your story? And instead of spiraling into bitterness, which is really easy to do, especially if life isn't showing up the way that you wanted it to. For example, I'm sure that it would be really easy for Whitney Decker to get bitter. Really easy. Mama, if you are watching, don't let that sadness steal your heart. Because you have a story. You're not the author, you're the storyteller. What will you make of this tragedy? Whoever you are, wherever you are, whatever tragedy that you are sitting with, whatever trouble that you are going through, how will you turn this stone into a diamond? How will you turn this coal into diamond? Diamonds are only created under fierce pressure. They start as a shitty piece of coal, a piece of broken, dead matter. And under extreme pressure, they turn into one of the most valuable items on earth and most beautiful items on earth. Did they have to go through a lot to get there? Fuck yeah, they did. But the pressure is what makes us. So how do we remain strong, and how do we have grit, and how do we persevere through the pressure and how do we remain hopeful and not let bitterness settle into our bones? Because I can tell you from personal experience, I fight the bitterness. I fight the comparison, especially in my industry. It is not easy to be a life, health, and business coach in the online world. The comparison is insane. There are so many people out there who look like they are living the dream, and it could all just be a show. And then there's people out there like me who have been working in the trenches and know their stuff. And why? Why on earth am I not where they are? Well, that's not part of my story. And God's got a plan for me, and I need to have faith in my fate. And so whenever I get into these chaotic moments, I have to remember to anchor in. And I anchor in some days it's one thing at a time, some days it's all the things. Some days I get all my water in, my workout, my food, my journaling, my Bible study, all of it, I get it in. And other days it's just the water. Some days it's just the walk, not even the water. But I anchor in. I anchor into my rituals. So I'm telling you, if you are going through chaos, if you are going through trouble, drop your excuses today and anchor in. Don't spiral. Don't spiral down the rabbit hole. It will not help you. One step, one bite, one breath at a time. That is what one of my mentors, Dr. Hart, had given to me. That quote. And I stand by that. So you anchor in every day into your rituals, into your writing, into your weird little joys, whatever that is, whatever brings you joy, anchor into that. Anchor into your story. What's your story? Man, maybe you might want to reflect on it a bit. Write out your past, write out your present, write out your future. What do you want from your future? You know? Because if you anchor into your thoughts and you choose them, it will be a lot easier to move forward. Because if you don't choose the thoughts, they will choose you. We're like a radio, and you turn on the radio and you have to tune it because there's different frequencies. Thoughts are just frequency, and we are tuning in. Sure, some of our thoughts are maybe uniquely our own, but most thoughts are recycled that we are turned into, and we're repeating the frequency. So, what are you going to tune into? The most dangerous days of my life are when I let my thoughts run the show, or the devil. Those are the days that I would likely rather not be here. Those are the days that I have momentary lapse of reason and make stupid decisions. When I believe the lie that I don't matter and that it's too late and that I am getting too old and too much for people. I messed up too bad. I've been a drug addict for too long. I've been struggling with substance abuse since I was 15 years old. I am now 39. To this day, I struggle a bit. I don't struggle as much as I once did, but I struggle. I have my struggles. Sometimes I want that drink or that, marijuana. And sometimes I give in and I have to get back up on the wagon again. Start over again. But I'm not gonna lie and say that I don't struggle just because I'm a coach or just because I know naturopathic medicine and just because I am in recovery. I will not lie and say I do not struggle. I struggle. I'm struggling right now. So you don't need to fake it to make it. You don't need to lie to kick it. Just be real. Just be honest. Just be true. But you don't need to feel completely hopeless and you don't need to compare yourself to others when you're on your own journey. You know, in the midst of the storm, don't forget you. So anchor in. It's not about avoiding trouble. You can't avoid trouble, all right? It's never going to happen. You're always going to have problems. They might, get less and less as we get older, but it's life. How will we learn if we don't have trouble? How will we grow if we don't have trouble? We won't. And sometimes trouble's tragedy. So how will you grow through that? So just today, I just want you to do one thing if you're struggling. One thing, if you're not struggling, do try to do all the things. But if you're struggling, one thing that anchors you back in. Clean your car. Go for a walk. Call somebody you love. Do a Bible study. Write in your journal. Eat a good, nourishing bowl of healthy food. Maybe avoid some sugar. Do the things. Do one thing. Don't underestimate small actions when you feel like you're completely broken, because that's what will put the pieces back together. And that is where healing starts. You're going to feel like shit, but feelings are fleeting and they will leave you. So don't do things based on your feelings. Sure, you want to use your feelings um as a metric of whether, it's something you should be embarking on, but that's not always the case. Sometimes that resistance is exactly what you need to move forward. So don't base things fully on your feelings. You do want to be in tune, but you don't want to be so tuned into that you miss everything else. You are not alone. You are not alone. You are loved. You are worthy. And you have a calling on your life. There's a divine design and there's a calling on your life, which, if you answer that call and you anchor in daily to your rituals, you will create a ripple effect, if only of wellness. Your children are watching, your family is watching, your friends are watching, everyone is watching, even if you think they're not. So, how do you want to show up? Show up with intention. As Dr. Allegra Roy, formerly Dr. Allegra Hart, always used to tell me, take things one bite, one breath, one step at a time. It's really all you have to do. Anchor in. So I hope you have a wonderful Monday. If you don't have a wonderful Monday, just have a decent day. Be thankful for what you have. Even if your heart is breaking, there is always something to be thankful for. Anchor in, and I will see you tomorrow. I hope to see you in my group, Rise and Shine with Morning Moon. Have a great day. See you then.